Greetings. Okay, so happy September. Maybe for some of you. I don't know. September is like one of those weird months. I don't know why. But yeah, so I'm gonna share this message with you guys. It's quite ironic, the messages that were coming through, and like it's just funny. Like you'll hear one thing and you'll be led to look something up, and then it'll lead you to the next thing, and then it comes the full message, and that's what this is. So September 25th might be significant to some of you. Okay, just saying. But I was watching a video. I was watching a prophetic video. Matter of fact, a September prophetic word, I think it was called. And I really love her content. And she's so like gifted and powerful, anointed, and just, yeah, amazing. I love her content. And she's also a writer and a poet, and she's really dope. Anywho, she was doing a September word, and she said the word supernatural. So when she said the word supernatural, I started to dive deeper into the word, the definition of the word supernatural, because we have an understanding of words, but I love to look up the definitions. And as she was, going into that, I heard I heard supernatural September, and then it came out of her mouth, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's confirmation. Because as soon as she was like talking about the supernatural, and then I'm looking it up, and I heard supernatural September. It just went together. So obviously, if you look up the word supernatural, you get a manifestation or an event attribute to some force beyond scientific understanding or the laws of nature. Then I looked up what is the meaning of the supernatural in the Bible. The word supernatural means beyond and above the natural. This is where God operates. It is the realm where heaven and earth intermingle, the realm of interaction between God and man. God wants his children to live and operate from the realm, or from this realm. Yeah, and it's 2:22 when I said that. Yes. And this could go for those of you that are, and I'm not a preacher, you guys, or nothing like that. I just go with the spiritual. And, I do, try to remain human. You know what I mean? But our thing is like it says, that the Most High, the divine, wants his creation, or their creation rather, to live and operate from the realm of the supernatural, meaning we know how to intermingle between the heaven and the earthly realm. You have to, right? And we call ourselves spiritual beings having a human experience, but we can be too human sometimes, you know what I mean, to where we deny the supernatural, or we discount it, or we second guess it, or we doubt it. But that's where most of the action, that's where things is lit, is in the spirit realm, whether that's spiritual battles going on, spiritual miracles, orchestrations, and all kind of things, you know what I mean? That's where everything gets going. So yeah, spirit definitely was speaking through this. And then I looked up what is the meaning of September. Obviously we know it's the 9th month, and the number 9 can represent completion, mastery. It could also be returning back to something that you ran from, that was a part of your purpose or assignment, something that was for you. You're returning back to that thing. September comes from the Latin word septum, which is the meaning of means 7. So because it was the 7th month in the, I think it was the early Roman calendar, so originally it is 7. And I was like, I heard the word seventh heaven. I don't know why, but I looked up the meaning of seventh heaven, and that means a state of intense happiness and bliss. So this month, ironically and surprisingly, I'll get into it in a second, but just keep that thought. The 7th also stood out to me. The 7th day, which can represent rest and finalization. Keep that in mind. The ninth and the 7th, they kind of have similar energies when it comes to completion. So rest and finalization. And then I'm like, I know this in my spirit or in my mind or somewhere in my subconscious mind. I know how many colors there are in a rainbow, but I wanted to double check. Lo and behold, there are 7 colors in the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So yeah, the promises. Keep that in mind. We've been talking about rainbows, and people have been having many multiple sightings, rainbow sightings, and some double rainbows. So double for your trouble. Not really double for your trouble, but double for your portion. Promises. So also Libra came to mind in the seventh house. So seventh house is ruled by Libra, but I'm not gonna emphasize too much on zodiacs and astrology too much. But everything has a place, like numbers, letters, colors. All of that is divine, but we don't want to worship it. We don't want to put it in that place of idolatry. But of course, the seventh house is important because it represents relationships, the most important relationships and contracts you'll ever have. Divine connections, divine helpers, that element of Libra. So Libra season could be something very significant. I'm getting Libra season can represent a Kairos timing, aka an opportune time or opportune moment to pay attention to or look forward to, because I am getting things towards the end of the year really popping off. So supernatural things that it doesn't make sense. Like, it wouldn't make sense to the average person or even to you how something worked itself out, how things came together. But again, spirit wants you to develop a relationship with the spirit realm and the physical, where you're able to, like, again, that definition, intermingle, where the heaven and the earth intermingle, be in that space where you're able to interaction between you and spirit, God, your angels. You're in that place where you're able to receive, if that makes sense. You understand what's going on in the spirit realm. And like I said, some things may not make sense to the average person. Like, let's say for someone, they're sick with a disease or something, right? Excuse me. And it might be something that is a rare disease, and they have not found a cure for that disease or the treatment or what have you. And with that faith that something can break through for you, or that you can receive the healing, or if it's a loved one, let's say, that's dealing with something like that, and overnight you wake up, or your family member wakes up and they don't feel that pain anymore, and you go to the doctor to get that checkup and they don't see that thing there anymore, and it doesn't make sense to the logical mind. And I've heard this, even some people that have, I think it was a woman, I was watching something, this was a minute ago, if I'm not mistaken. This woman, she did some type of surgery to prevent pregnancy, and didn't know how she ended up pregnant. And these are things that we in our human mind and doctors cannot explain. You know what I mean? So that's supernatural. It's very possible, but we don't see stuff like that every day. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that it's impossible or that it doesn't exist or it's just a fairy tale. No, it's very possible for things that do not make scientific sense nor logical, practical sense to happen and to come to pass. And that's this energy. And these are things that spirit wants you to just rest and chill out and know that this is coming into completion and finalization. You're close to that promise, and I can't escape rainbows. They just stalking me everywhere, and I feel like for some of you too, same thing. You're just seeing them, whether it's physically in your experience, like you go outside and you see a rainbow, or you're seeing these things. I was at a restaurant with one of my peoples, and it was a guy wearing, if you guys ever seen the movie Superbad, what's his name? The character in the movie, he had a fake ID from Hawaii, and I always get something with Hawaii. I don't know what that's about, but it was 9 when I said that. 9 is my life path number, by the way. But he had on the t-shirt with the fake ID from Hawaii with the McLovin's ID, and it had, of course, Hawaii symbol is the rainbow. So on it, I seen this big ass rainbow on this person's shirt, and I'm just like, really? Like, they were standing right next to me, and I'm like, really? Because I was helping my friend. I was holding her baby's car seat, and this man was like standing above me. So when I look up, I see this freaking rainbow. Like, what? Like, anyway, so yeah, promises. And then seventh heaven, I don't know why I was led to look up the meaning of seventh heaven. And the seventh heaven is a state of intense happiness and bliss, and it is possible for you. And sometimes we think that happiness and joy in that state is unrealistic. No, we can experience that and have that heaven on earth. Thank you, Spirit. That's have that heaven on earth and experience it. Um, and also too, divine connections with people coming into your life, divine helpers here on earth and in the spirit realm, forming these divine connections with you. And like I said, there's some type of opportune time or opportune moment maybe that may come up for some of you. As I mentioned earlier in the video or in the message, September 25th might be significant to someone, okay? So I'm going to leave it at that, you guys. I don't want to do too much with this, but yeah. And I have another message. It might be a little bit shorter than this, but I'll save it because I'm already at 10 minutes. So much love to you guys. As always, be blessed, be safe, take care, peace.